Okay, hi. So the last lesson we were looking at samatha meditation, and this time we are going to be looking at something called Vipassana meditation. Now, essentially, when it comes to the techniques between Vipassana and samatha meditation, they're essentially the same. The main difference is going to be what they are focusing on, rather than the techniques themselves. And in fact, very often, what Buddhists will do, they will start with samatha meditation, which is going to be focusing their breathing as more like mindfulness, focusing on a particular object and remaining in the present as a preparation into Vipassana meditation. Now, Vipassana meditation is often called insight meditation and practiced mainly in Theravada Buddhism. And it's to try and gain insight into the true nature of reality. So this is where they're going to be focusing on the teachings of the Buddha. So it's going to be the three marks of existence, anatta, anicca, dukkha. It's going to be focusing on the Four Noble Truths or the Eightfold Path. And it's about spending time focusing on those specific aspects of Buddha's teaching, which will enable them to have a greater understanding about the nature of reality and also about their response to the nature of reality. You know, are there still attachments that the Buddhist has in their life that they need to focus on? So, you know, very often people think that meditation is all about emptying your mind and you just sit there and do nothing, and physically you're sitting there doing nothing, but actually meditation is a really difficult, can be a really difficult thing to do, because the concentration you need to do the meditation properly is incredibly of a high level. You are remaining in the moment. You are allowing thoughts to come in which are always trying to distract you. You acknowledge them, but then you move them on. You don't spend time thinking about these distractions that come into your mind. You are trying to focus on the nature of reality. So it is, like I said, the techniques are going to be the same, but what you're focusing on is going to be different. So here it talks about in samatha meditation might focus on the neutral simple object or process such as blue triangle, candle flame, and so on, where vipassana can be explored objectively, including things that are more personal to the meditator, sorry. For example, might reflect on the body, how people can attach to their bodies, and it's that kind of focusing on the nature of reality. So, with Vipassana, you know, you can be switching between lots of different things for you to be focusing on, and so essentially the meditation there, instead of busy rushing from one thing to another, from one attachment to another attachment, you are taking time out and you're focusing on. Remember, this is all about why is there suffering in the world and what can we do to avoid the suffering, or what can we do in terms of our response to the suffering. Well, meditation is the key for Buddhists. Okay, because the meditation enables them to understand the nature of reality. So if we take into account what's happening at the moment and any time in the world, things are always changing and suffering comes. One of the reasons why suffering comes is when you're trying to hold on to something, but it's changed. You know, and we are in that situation at the moment around the world, where and in this country, and things are always continually changing. And so the meditation is really there to help understand and that nature of that reality, and also to understand, am I suffering because I am trying to hold on to something that is changing, and you can't hold on to it. And when you try and hold on to it, that's when the suffering takes place. So, Vipassana meditation helps Buddhists to understand how all things are characterized by the three marks of existence, to develop greater wisdom and awareness. So, this is why Buddhism sees meditation as something incredibly important. In some ways, to say Buddhism, to say meditation is a really practical thing sounds counterintuitive. But if you don't meditate, if you don't take time out and think about where you are and how you're responding to the reality that you are living at the moment, then you are not going to change. And you're going to be doomed to continue to repeat the same mistakes that you've are always making. So meditation is really meant to be something that is incredibly practical, that will have practical effects in your life. Now, Zazen is another form of meditation, and it's a Japanese word meaning seated meditation. So this is practicing Zen Buddhism. Now, Zen Buddhism belongs to the Mahayana tradition of Buddhism, so it's the newer type. I say newer; it's still 1500 or 2000 years old. So it's meant to lead to a deeper understanding of the nature of existence. Um, the meditator simply sits with awareness of the present moment. Thoughts and experiences come and go, and the meditator returns again and again to the present moment. Now, this is all very similar to what the other types of meditation are. Sounds very similar to samatha meditation. Buddhism is all about being in the present. It's not whether it's zazen, whether it's vipassana, or whether it's samatha. It's about being in the present. Very often we have this image of Buddhism, of sort of meditation, in which you just switch off and you have an empty mind. There are types of meditation like that, but the majority of meditation is nothing like that whatsoever. It's not about switching off, it's actually about switching on. It's about understanding the nature of the reality. And then you have walking meditation. And essentially, what these, so you've got sitting meditation, walking meditation. Essentially, these are just different techniques to help individuals focus on the nature of reality, help individuals to be aware of the present moment in time. So that could be walking, and you focus on the walking. That's why things like yoga and the Tai Chi, all these things, whether it's done really, really slowly, can be very meditative, and the actions become second nature, and it leads you into a meditation. It keeps you in the present moment. So now remember, I asked you to quarter a piece of paper and just to write down the different types of meditation and the main differences between them and the similarities between them as well. Okay, so I want you to finish that sheet, and I want you to be able, at the end of this, to describe the difference between Vipassana meditation and Samatha meditation. Okay, and why it is important.